Well, last night, President Ramaphosa addressed the nation. You might remember the family meeting. He announced the arrival of the vaccines, the easing of the lockdown, some of the lockdown restrictions. I think most people probably wanted to hear about the vaccine rollout. For some, perhaps the biggest news of the night was the lifting of the ban on the sale of alcohol. But for others, their way of life is going to the beach. They're surfers. Deon Bing is a well-known surfing reporter. He's a roving reporter on surfing. He joins us now. Deon, good afternoon to you. I mean, you've been through the most. You haven't been able to go to the beach since the middle of December. Finally, it was a big announcement last night for you.
Beautiful announcement, and look, all of the other issues affect us as well. Who doesn't like a little pint or something? Who doesn't need vaccine? All the good stuff, But you're finally allowed back in the water, hey? And first thing this morning, 7 o'clock, we were out there. And I don't know if you saw in Cape Town, we had a gale force southeaster yesterday. The water must have been 12 degrees. And you start thinking, hang on, is this what I've been hanging out for?
12 degrees is freezing. I mean, that's colder even than Clifton. Look, I mean, for so many people, surfing is literally a way of life. It's what you do all the time. I mean, I can't imagine how you got through the last few weeks, frankly.
No, look, it has been tough. But look, we talk about the surfing, but the myriad of activities that happen at sea. Surfing is just a small part of it. Obviously, they allowed, after a little bit of pushback, that the fishermen for subsistence fishing could go down there. Then all of a sudden, we find there's a whole bunch more people going fishing. So fantastic for the fishermen. Fantastic also for the kayakers, because there are a number of facilities that, put people on kayaks, some tourism facilities, they can paddle out to sea. They were then allowed to go out to sea. On the surfing side, absolutely, man. I mean, your fitness goes for a ball, so you try and do a little bit of cross-training and stuff like that. But it's more just a camaraderie of meeting your mates on the beach and just hanging out at the back line. And you don't even think you're keeping fit. You're just doing what comes naturally, rolling around in the surf. And the benefits happen just while you're having fun, I suppose.
It makes you feel better, doesn't it? I mean, that's what surfing is. I mean, how big is the industry? And I realize it's not the biggest industry that's been affected by the lockdown. I mean, that's probably been the restaurants and the alcohol industry. But there is a whole economic system of surfboard suppliers and shops and clothes, and all sorts of people are involved in this industry.
What is really interesting, after the first lockdown, when folk were allowed back in the water and everything like that, there was a massive turnout of people who sort of thought, hang on, I'm going to regenerate myself. I'm getting my life-work balance right. And so many more people back in the water. So there was this complete spike of people, even my age, just sort of for the first time getting into the water and saying, man, this is an amazing release. I can at least focus on the tough stuff that I've got to deal with when I get back on land. So there was this explosion where you were running out of product. You couldn't get, often you couldn't get product in because of freight and that type of thing. But there was definitely more people got involved. And obviously for those newbies to the industry, suddenly thinking, oh my goodness, I can't get in the water. It was so frustrating for them. But just slightly wider than that, there are a number of surf therapy programs is a way to put it, where vulnerable kids and that sort of thing are obviously given various life skills and mentorship and that. But part of that is taking them for a paddle down the beach, giving them their own sort of, their own fears and confidence, I suppose, mixing it all together. And a lot of those surf schools have just had to be on the back burner, obviously doing a bit of literacy, a bit of food, feeding schemes and stuff. But those kids also missing their surf.
And Deon, I mean, I can't imagine this, but I mean, there's an idea of a surfer being not the most political oak or gal in the world, right? I mean, you're not known for your angry protests or for going out and saying we demand this from government. If there was another lockdown, could we see surfers getting a bit more political, Deon? Could it happen?
You know what? I think it's wonderful that this elegant diversion happens so that a lot of people can, find a wave on a quiet place up the beach.
Deon Bing, really good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. I think you know what he's saying. He's a surf reporter, someone who knows his stuff, knows his waves too. All right.